Here's Mikey Cartelli's Tmaxx that got into a fire hydrant. So Mikey, I want you to know before I get going here, we got you broke an arm, obviously, you broke the pins, and you broke this bulkhead. Alright? So that plastic bulkhead, they do have an upgrade for. It's an alloy bulkhead, which will toughen up that front end with the RPM arms, but it's $54.99 compared to the stock one, which is $7.79 for the plastic one. If it was my truck, I'd put the alloy up here. It's from Tmaxx. Everything bolts to it, and the way you drive, that with a set of RPM arms, you might have a little bit better chance of taking a hit. I can't tell if that shock's bent yet. So anyways, wanted you to see what we had going on here before we got started.
Plus the latest Hollywood releases. In fact, DirecTV has 4 dedicated.
I don't think the other side's busted.
And Dish Network, 0.
So
the most 3D content.
All right, buddy.
The reason why 50 million people agree.
Check you later.
Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
That's true.
Alrighty, so here's part 2 of Mike's little repair video here. Here's his busted, you can see that thing's all cracked right through where the hinge pin goes. Right down through here is all busted. Just talked to him. We're going to do some upgrades here. We're going to go with the RPM arms on the front, an RPM shock tower, the alloy bulkheads, and they also have a shock tower brace. So I'm going to pull the rest of this front apart, get it ready. That way we'll have a spare set of arms when he needs them, and we'll pick the stuff up at Hobby Fever tomorrow and have this bad Larry ready to go for Saturday. Alright, so that's part 2 of this, and I'm also going to take this diff apart and probably change that diff fluid out, do a service on that differential. When I get that baby cracked open, I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, over and out. Alright, that's what your truck looks like when it's all tore apart. Got the motor here. Going to be pulling that clutch off in a second, putting the Buku on it. Front end's all apart. We're going back with RPM arms, alloy diff here, rear true track system, RPM carriers, RPM shock tower. So we're getting rid of this plastic stuff here, going RPM. Turn that thing into a basher. And the next thing I'd like to try to do is get rid of this thing here so you can put a hump pack in it and not be messing around with the double A's on your battery pack. I think we can get, can't get one of those in it, but I think we can get a hump pack in there. Set it up so you can just recharge it normal instead of dealing with those freaking AA batteries and shit. And that's a 2070 servo, kind of wimpy, and they have a I think I might have a 2075 servo here we can stick in there, which will give us more power. And I have a set of Big Joes made for that Tmaxx style axle. So once we get the Buku clutch on it, you could run those wheels right here. They'd be sick. Or we could use these right here and put the picks, put the ice picks in these. Whatever you want. Plenty of options. So, look at her now. I'm going to leave for the hobby shop in about 45 minutes. Get there right when they open. And I'm going to be bashing on this thing later on this afternoon. Alright, later. Alright fellas, how you doing? It's let's see, Thursday, 1/5/2012. What I got here is a fairly broken in 3.3 off a new Tmaxx, and I just took off the stock clutch here and put on a Buku clutch with brass composite shoes that isn't brand spanking new, but the shoes were only tested at the factory very, very briefly. What I want to show you here is, I don't know how clearly you're going to get that, but they look pretty much the same as a brand new set. There's not really much wear on them at all, and they're all the same. So I've already set it. You can see those colors I have on the clutch. I use yellow is number 1, black is number 2, and orange is number 3. And I'm starting out on this thing with an initial setting of 1.5, 2, and 2.5 turns. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing in, and we're going to got a bunch of hop-ups for this thing. He's got some RPM arms, a little alloy bulkhead. It hit a fire hydrant, so we're going to get this back together, get another quick clip of it all back together, and then we're going to get it running and check out this clutch. Alright, so this is a brief. Try to see if I can't in focus.
Got it? Yeah, but oh man, okay. Big. I noticed that you don't wait at all. When you feel the fish, you set the hook, don't you? That's right, they don't have hands. When he's carried, ooh, Davey.
Yeah, they're all the even.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty good. I think we can document that nice enough that it's where he's at today, and I'm going to do this for at 2 gallons again, and we'll see what we got. Alright fellas, over and out from the shop. Got a bunch of stuff here, bunch of work to do, all kinds of parts, 2-track, push rods, hump pack to get rid of them AA batteries, RPM carriers, RPM front shock tower, RPM front arms, stainless steel pins, and an alloy bulkhead. Here we go. Alright, let me get at it. Over and out. Alright, folks, here's the Tmaxx we upgraded yesterday. Just a quick spin through here. We went with the RPM arms, alloy bulkhead, RPM shock carrier, and body post. That's all in one kit. RPM rears. Most importantly is the Buku Speed Tune clutch.